Hey everyone, welcome back to the as yet unnamed podcast that the Shriekingwizardco are doing. Hey, that's me, I'm Jenny, I'm the DM. I'm with Alex today.
Hello.
And Amy.
Hello.
And you'll probably hear him in the background is Oliver Moore. He's the sound engineer.
Wave.
Wave?
Yeah.
Let the people see you.
Hear the air swooshing. This podcast is brought to you by our patrons, people like Joseph Boyle, Dara, Blast 10 Away.
It's a great name.
And Pandas Love MC. So thanks guys, thank you for your continued support. Morning Bell on Twitter at morning_bell, that's with 1 L. Are you guys looking for voice actors for NPCs, or is this going to be a strictly you thing? No worries if it is.
Boy.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
We would love to bring other people in, but it's...
We can't pay you,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nobody should work for free. So we're gonna use up all of our voices
Yeah.
for the NPCs. I mean, starting with chapter 3, we're gonna have to think quite seriously about right.
Yeah.
So maybe is the answer. We might have to start.
I think there are avenues that we could use.
Yeah, we also did go to theatre school for, well, if you can call it that.
We went to art school.
I took theatre arts, darling.
And you were in the theatre department.
And I was in the theatre department, theatre. So I do know a lot of actors.
I only know them for you guys because I wouldn't leave you guys alone.
Yeah, so
Maybe
might have
two.
to ask them first because, nepotism is the key. And, if you have work, you should offer it to your friends or whatever. But maybe we'll put out a call for specific stuff. I don't know. Yeah. This is the first time we've ever done this.
Obviously there's a procedure for that as well, because
Yeah.
you'll especially with working with strangers, especially people who are maybe further afield who have to record remotely,
Yep.
which would definitely be the case. There are certain ways that they'd have to be directed.
Yep.
And standards of recording, like do they have the right equipment? There's a lot of factors involved.
Yep.
I've been watching a lot of Sea Dog VA recently, so I'm like, my mind is so in on voice acting right now, so I'm just sort of like, oh, it's a hefty process.
Something we're going to work out, but the further along we get, the more likely it is to be.
Yeah, I think that's the best.
I would love to bring more people into it.
Yeah.
Botch Dungeon on Twitter asks at Botch Dungeon.
Is that the question?
No, sorry, I'm fucking it up. If your characters were reincarnated into animals, what animals would they be? Paddy.
This sounds like a furry question.
Or a raccoon.
Yeah, true.
I was going to say a fox for
Oh
Paddy.
yeah, fox too. That would
That's
be
a fox.
But,
no, he's a raccoon.
raccoons
Yeah.
have grabby hands, right?
Yeah. He would
Don't
also
know.
be sad if he saw cotton candy melt. So it's
Yeah.
like, it's also they've got foxes don't necessarily have the eyeshadow going
yeah,
on.
That's true.
A bandit.
Yeah, he's a sneaky boy.
Gimgar would be a bear because she loves bears.
Mm-hmm.
Hashaan, it's harder to say. I feel like she'd be a swan. I don't know.
Oh no, she would be like one of those,
Well, I don't
those
know.
lizards where they go and they have the
Oh,
fan come out
thanks.
around them.
I was going to be like, graceful bird that floats through the sky. You're like, a lizard that spits.
I mean,
she is
a lizard that spits.
Yeah.
She's
I mean, why would she reincarnate as herself when she can be something that gets privacy?
I feel like
I mean,
swan
you're
is actually
saying-
kind of appropriate because they look super graceful, but then also they could break your arm.
Yes.
I like the insinuation there, though, that lizards don't get privacy. That's the main takeaway I got from that. Like, a swan, they have their own sort of secluded areas. Lizards, nothing.
Well, no,
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Constantly seen.
Pick up a rock, there they are.
I don't know. Personally, I've seen more swans than lizards in my time.
Yeah, but you look at a swan and you leave him alone. Whereas you look at Hashaan and you think, I'm going to annoy the fuck out of her.
I feel like it would be a fun but dangerous game to annoy a swan, though. I feel like that's the same energy. It's depends how ballsy you're feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe swan is appropriate
Swan
for
feels
Hashaan.
pretty accurate. The
And
more I
then when
think
she's
about it.
got her little babies around, don't go near her because she will kill you. Don't go near the babies. She will murder you.
I'm warming up to the idea of Swan Hashaan now.
Yeah. The black swan.
Ballet. Swish on. Thank you,
Swanshan.
Ollie. think who would what would the rest be? Rook is one that I find hard to place because I feel like he also has raccoon energy, but in the more manic sense.
No, I'd say he's a corvid of any kind because obviously a rook is a corvid, but they're they're very graceful looking, but they can be very obnoxious.
Have you seen those videos of like crows rolling around on snowy cars and things?
He'd
That's
definitely
nice.
He'd be in the bird category, I think.
I can imagine him like hopping around like magpies in a field, like those kind of like that kind of like hoppity. Hippity hoppity, get off my property. As he casts Thunderwave.
I feel like Malark and Mina are both different kinds of dogs. Like Mina is
Malark
like a
is
lap
a Jack
dog.
Russell.
Malark is like a Jack Russell, like a really angry one.
Can be really nice, like you're stroking him and they're like, yes, I love this, and then all of a sudden they bite your hand off for no reason.
Mina's like
Labrador.
yeah.
Oh, Labrador.
Mina's a Labrador.
She'd be like a golden retriever.
Yeah. Exactly.
What would Torlin be?
Oh, just the cutest.
Like
she would be like a
chihuahua.
chinchilla.
Oh no, a chinchilla.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
small and bouncy, right?
That doesn't
Guinea
take proper
pig.
baths, it just rolls around in the dirt.
Who else have we got? Ava. What would she be? I feel like she'd be a frog.
Is that because she's green?
Yeah, probably. No, I just feel like
I mean, I like frogs though. Frogs are cute.
frogs are cute.
What about pug?
Oh, a pug.
Oh yeah, pug.
Oh, yeah. Or like a sausage dog.
It's my pug bark, everyone. That's how they bark.
If Rook is a rook, then Gwing is also a bird, but
Oh, yeah.
like a
But like a cool one.
yeah. She's like a bird of prey,
Oh,
like a
yeah.
hawk or something, or a kite.
Like a falcon?
Yeah,
Are they the
yeah,
ones
yeah.
that like dive down and sort out pigeons in the city?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Rook's a pigeon.
That's it.
No,
Man,
Gwing is a hawk. Okay, Rook is a crow, and then Xenia is a pigeon.
Oh, man, pigeons are like my favorite. Like one, I have many favorite birds, but they're like one of my favorites because they're so round. Like,
So
have you ever
cute.
seen? Like, of course you have because pigeons are everywhere in the UK. But like a really round pigeon.
Yeah, we've got
is
one
the most
who's like
satisfying
Chunky
thing.
boy.
We've got a chunky boy who visits us every day.
Yeah.
There's nothing that quite parallels the absolute delight of just seeing an absolute unit of a pigeon. It's just you just lay your eyes on it and you're like,
Remember
yes.
You drew like the high school version of our characters. And
Oh yeah.
Rook had
Oh,
a little
yeah,
Xenia
little
pigeon on,
pigeon.
and then you
Oh,
zoomed in
yeah.
and you like wrote absolute unit on it.
I love it.
Human Nagar. What a cutie.
Also, some kind of dog.
Yeah, he would. What's like one of the? I feel like Labrador is also the really dopey one.
I feel like he'd be a Great Dane, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dribbles all over everything.
Or like a Saint Bernard.
Yeah.
Wait, what's a Great Dane?
Also,
No, yeah, Great Dane.
Danes are tall.
Absolutely a Great Dane.
Yeah.
Yeah. St. Bernard's a dribbler. No, Great Dane, absolutely.
Have we missed anybody?
Probably there are so many of us.
Zada.
Zada, a goat.
I was gonna say like a secretary bird, but like a goat.
I was
I
going to
guess.
say like a bird or something. You're like, a goat.
Sorry, that came to me so quick.
Wow.
I don't know why. I think it's just the I didn't expect that to be so instant. I'm so sorry, Katie. I'm
Wow.
so sorry.
We're like looking at Zada from the back, and then she turns around and she's got goat face.
Terra and Brio.
Oh my gosh, Brio.
A cat. Yeah, she'd be a cat.
One of those fancy ones, maybe.
I feel like she'd be.
She's a bold cat. What are they called?
No,
Oh, like a
she's-
sphinx?
Sphinx.
Yeah, like
no,
a
she'd
naked
be a
one.
Kylo Ren cat.
I was thinking more of the
Long
puffy
boy.
kind because she's so fancy with her fancy nails.
I would say she's a Kylo Ren cat.
Would
kind
you
of cat
ever? They got really long faces. They
Ah.
honk.
They honk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beg pardon.
Yeah,
they're called Oriental cats.
Instead of like
Instead of meowing.
Yeah, because
They're really cool.
You know, like, huh?
you know how like we yeah.
Terra would be something just the sweetest, I think.
She's a rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Like a
I wouldn't say
bunny.
rabbit.
But, like, maybe, like, one of those ones with the, like, really floppy.
Oh, maybe,
is-
yeah. There's something really sweet.
This is vaguely upsetting because I think Adam Driver is probably quite a nice man, and also I don't think he's unattractive.
No, I think he's a very attractive human being.
But cats have long faces.
I mean, Tom Holland's a good bloke, but he looks like he has a frog in his mouth. It's the same vein of like you can liken somebody to having.
Tom
animal
Holland is playing Paddy
characteristics.
if we ever get a movie. So
These people are never coming on our show now.
God no.
Oriental short hair. There you go.
Why does
that is a Brio. Wow.
I love the black haired ones.
Look at the ears.
I love
on
how
that.
very
love them.
disappointed that Google image result looks.
I love them. I think they're so beautiful.
There's this one as well.
Look, so cute.
It's cute.
Well, Starlily on YouTube said, if the poly animals, what would they be? So that's I guess we answered that.
That would
Though including the DM, if it was me personally,
You'd be a budgie.
that's very rude.
No, it's not because they're chaotic.
No, I would be a lion because they sleep for 22 hours a day.
I like that that's the reasoning for it. Like the first thing that comes to mind is like, oh yeah, they're pretty majestic, they're cool. You're like, naps.
Naps.
I was going to say like a house bird.
Big old naps.
There's such a big contrast between housebird and lion.
I know.
There's
Well,
such a big
I think the
contrast.
reason I
I
say
feel
that
like
is because
actually all
I
of
saw...
my characters kind of have aspects of the lion. If I force it to like Rosa
Sleeps for 22 hours a day.
is you know like
She's in
aggressive
charge.
and
How does she
stuff
get
and
anything done?
Well, no, she's lioness, isn't she?
and Erin is like the stoic and
Yeah.
and then to be named violent.
Yeah.
His name Adriana Heredia, I think.
Apologies.
It
if
was an
that's
attempt.
not right.
Girl. Have you ever found any amazing class and subclass pairings or generally used a class for its mechanics and changed the story from what's expected? Example, I use a sorcerer and artificer subclass as a witch doctor. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so like sort of mixing stuff up for flavor.
Yeah.
Ooh. I don't know. I've never really mixed. I've never multi-classed myself, but I love thinking of that kind of, ways to mix it up, make a funky fruit smoothie of a character.
I am quite in. Again, this is kind of before Wizards sort of did the work for you with their subclass, but I quite liked rogue bards being mixed because I want like heavy charisma. I want to get my way, but also I also want what's in your pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good mix.
One of my favorite TV shows of all time is White Collar, which is I like the TV sort of formula of like was once a bad guy is now a good guy, helps the FBI, or like
I love
has a
reformed bad
super
guys.
specialist skill, helps the FBI, right? So Numbers, also a really good show for that.
Yeah,
I love
you
that.
really do like those shows.
I've watched Numbers and White Collar like maybe 4 times over each. It's a bit of an issue, but White Collar is he's like a con man and like a master forger who was doing that for self gain, and then he goes to prison and then he gets turned into a white hat or whatever.
I
And he
see.
helps the FBI, and then the FBI agent's like his dad figure. It's very, very good. So I like the characters that are the con man.
Yeah, and there's so many ways of mixing that up because essentially you can play any type of character in any type of class. There's no limits really.
One of
But
my favourites is probably got to be my gunslinger rogue that I played.
ooh,
She was
yeah,
cool because if
she's
you
great.
if you mix a gunslinger and a rogue, you get a sniper, and I really like it. I really love that character, but like
Yeah,
there's
me
no
too.
context for her.
Yeah, no, we're a long way away from the context of her, but so good. There are guns in our cabin, but they're very limited.
Yeah.
So when they do turn up, we kind of make an effort to. They're just the couple of gunslingers that we have had experience of. They're just the best.
I want to play her again, but I want to play her better than I did before.
I don't know how you can improve upon perfection, Amy.
Oh, there's another one.
With your numerous broken weapons and
Oh man, you just kept putting her in places where she couldn't use her gun, and she was like, "I don't like being on the ground. This is the worst time ever, and I don't use short range weapon because I don't like people being near me."
And also, your entire party would be like, okay, you shoot them, and then they would immediately stand
In the way.
directly in front of the line of fire. Yeah. Okay, DMQs. Abraxas on YouTube. What are the other gods doing? Does the character that got lost in the bag worship the Raven Queen? Will we be learning more about these gates to the elemental planes that the character was going to?
I would love if Katie's character worshipped the Raven Queen.
Zada worships Dol Ara.
Yeah.
I can't remember what her... What's Dolara's thing?
The rising sun.
Yeah.
It's a symbol.
What's she about?
You know,
I forget.
hope and rebirth, and I'm
sacrifice.
paraphrasing. It's there's
kind of
so
thing.
much kind of stuff. Yes, sacrifice is a big portion of it. But no, the Raven Queen is in.
The Raven Queen is cool.
Is in Arcaden, but she's not like a massive.
We've
deal.
never met her.
I mean, specifically at the moment, because it's quite a lot to juggle to have all of these gods have a hand in everything all the time.
Horde is a big thing.
Horde is a big thing. Erathis is a big thing, even though y'all don't really experience it.
Oh, Ioun as well.
Oh yeah, Ioun.
Yeah.
Holy Avenger of Ioun. What a spicy sword that is.
Paddy's from
Me.
Tierman,
Yeah.
which is patron god. The nation's patron god is
Corellin?
Corellin.
We've only ever seen it written down.
Y'all,
We've got some
the
dwarven
names.
gods that we haven't really explored.
Yep.
Mhm.
But the Dwarven pantheon is homebrew, and there's kind of like Hinduism. So you have the Dvarka, the Allfather, and then his children, which are also aspects of him.
Cool.
I haven't really explored the dwarven one yet, like really, because
Mhm.
Gimgar's not religious.
Gimgar's not
Yeah,
at
and there's
all.
like the one sort of, what is it, silver? Or is that
yeah.
cord?
The silver hammer is the silver hammer's like defense force.
Oh, I
It's
thought,
like
I
their
thought it was
guard.
on the god thing.
No. Torlin was religious, but she's a worshipper of Evandra, which turns up occasionally because you deal with the casino.
Oh,
Which
yeah,
is-
so it's a luck thing, isn't
luck
it?
thing. Cord. There's a temple to Cord in Kadar, and Mina worships him. There are loads.
Bahamut, but he's barely existing at the moment.
Selenine. I've forgotten how I pronounce her name. The moon god
Oh, yeah.
is for Galtalan.
Mm.
Kavir worships Palor.
Mm.
Who's the one for Ramliat?
That's Dolar and Doldorn.
Oh, right.
I mean, obviously, the worship of these gods is kind of everywhere. Especially like the Elven nations, they kind of like switch their things. I have made Palor an elf. He's traditionally a human god.
Oh.
Like, and I have made Arathis human. And I know that that's not quite how it works, but that's
It
how
is now.
how I'm kind of sorting it in my head is based on like the predominance of their worship.
Bahamut was a big dude.
Bahamut was, obviously Bahamut and Tiamat.
He was one of the highly worshipped, but then
Mhm.
obviously Tiamat turned up.
I wrote a book about it, and it's been a while since I read it, so I've forgotten kind of the working.
Before anybody asks,
Pantheon.
a non-published book, it's for self-reference
no,
only.
Self-reference. Damn. I think that's everybody. It's probably not.
Yeah, there's always more
Probably
gods.
more.
Dollar,
I know Phil's got a whole list written down, and he's got all his theories.
Yeah.
There's some that probably cannot be named as well at this stage, so
Well, I mean, we're using mostly the traditional
yeah.
D&D 5e pantheon, basically. What was the rest of the question? We'll be learning more about the gates to the elemental planes. Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a big part of what we're
Mhm.
doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'll be learning more about everything
You'll see a couple
as it
of
goes
them.
The paladin forgets.
Terra is from a gate community. Mina is from a gate community. Zada is from a gate community. So you'll see eventually. You'll learn more about them and their role in the world. Otaku Toast
I love that name.
on YouTube asks who plays who. That might be on the website. You can go to Shriekingwizardco and there might be a list there. But for reference, Amy,
I play Hashaan and Gimgar.
Alex,
I play Paddy.
I'm the DM.
Jenny plays everyone else.
Rook is the wizard. He's played by Matt Kemp. Matt Kemper also plays Brio the Bard. Gwing plays Terra and...
sorry?
Gwing. Beth plays Gwing and Terra. I'm always hesitant to start listing because I know I'm going to forget someone. Katie plays Zada. Jazz plays Torlin and Mina. Liam plays Nagar.
Nagar only.
Phil plays Malark. Sarah plays Ava. Occasionally we're joined by Erin, who plays Ryce Wyne.
Ah, Ryce Wyne.
The myth, the legend.
Ryce Wyne. I love him. 10 out of 10.
Good lad.
I just love Erin.
Dang. Here's another name that I'm not going to... Y'all, I'm very English and dyslexic, so you're going to have to forgive me. Charlie Pasalacqua.
Oh, Charlie. That's one of my friends.
That's your Charlie.
That's my
I've met
Charlie.
that Charlie.
Yeah.
How'd you say his last name?
You said it right.
I did?
Yeah, it's
Dang,
Italian.
y'all. Great. Who's at Charlie Past 17?
Quick question. What are you doing here, you bastard? Hi, Charlie.
What do you want?
How close does a character come to death in the campaign?
Too often.
And was it in battle or were they just being a doof?
I mean, always a doof.
There's
Let's
a lot of
be real.
doofing.
I mean, I think everyone's skirted the line.
Gimgar has
of death.
only ever gone down once.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's
quite
pretty impressive.
Um,
My villains play to win.
Mm.
My bad guys play to win. My casual encounters play to win.
There was a big boss fight that we did. Gimgar didn't get hit once. But Hashaan is constantly going down.
I think that's because Jenny, through Gimgar, has learned to target you more.
Well,
Perhaps.
you've upped the game. I
Yeah.
think you've definitely upped the game, and like Hashaan is constantly going. Like she's been down a few times now, actually.
It's because you do so much damage as Hashaan
Yeah,
that
it needs to be
I'm
fair.
keen to get you out of the way, basically.
Yeah.
So they tend to target on you.
Which I'm glad, because obviously, like,
then the softer party members don't get.
it means that like they're distracted, and then the softer party members can get them while she's doing a dance.
I think there have been plenty of times where, because obviously rogues, they like you're good at hitting when you do hit sneakily, and you have a lot of tools for evading stuff, but you're squishy when you do get hit. So like there have been loads of times where you've landed a hit on me straight away, and I've like lost all of my health in the first turn, and I'm just like, oh, perfect, this is just how I wanted today to go.
I think we can mention this because there's not really a lot of context, but there was this one time we were offered wine,
Oh man.
and Terra, my gunslinger, was like, nope.
Oh, I remember now.
She saw it and she did like an Isma from fucking Emperor's New Groove. She just chucks it over her shoulder and she's like, yeah, I can see right through this. And then she doesn't say anything, but she just watches Paddy and then she watches him drink it.
That's the thing. I remember being in that moment, like, really spaced out, like, both player and character. I was just like, this is fine. And then I was dying.
It's just the fact that I knew what it was and I didn't tell you, but that's very Aethera.
Yeah.
That's very Aethera.
I think so. I mean, I attack obviously Hashaan quite a lot anyway because you do a lot of damage. I shouldn't really be telling you this because you're just going to go away and plan around it, but I'm probably going to shake it up a little bit. Like, Hashaan is an issue. The rogues, you tend not to be, no offense.
It's fine.
You're
I
more
do
of
not land
you're
hits.
a big nuisance
It's what I aim to be.
when it comes to like cleaning up after Hashaan has gone down. But Rook is becoming an issue.
Oh, he's so good.
He's the best.
Very chaotic. I don't really know how, when we're going into an encounter, how Matt's going to go, whether he's going to
Chaotic
go
is a good way to describe it.
like very utility or if he's going to do damage. He tends to lean slightly more towards like
Summon Greater Demon.
yeah. I love that spell.
It's like every time we go into combat, we have to be like, now, dude, you don't have fresh blood, so you can't do that spell.
Well, he can do that spell. He just won't be protected from it when the demon's done its killing. It will turn on him too. He tends to sort of do more sort of like tricky stuff where he'll like attempt to banish you, or he'll line up a couple of shots to do whatever.
It's all very like out the box.
Yeah, or he'll if we're fighting near a cliff edge, he'll attempt to blast you off of the edge rather than kill you himself, right? He's very utilitarian, so he tends to be a bit difficult to deal with.
I'm just saying.
But he's very soft.
I'm just saying, if Hashaan dies, I'm retiring from D&D. Like,
Well, then don't die.
I like
try not
the
to.
Don't get in the way.
I like the sort of almost summarization of that whole spiel about like Matt being a very interesting player is you just being like, I'm coming for you, Matt. Watch your back.
Be ready.
I don't think I can play D&D if Hashaan dies. I just can't.
The emotional toll would be too
Oh,
great.
I'm like so attached to her. You're like, you need to make a backup character. I'm like, she is my backup character.
We've had talks about that before, and I'm like, I have a backup character that I really want to play, but I also never want to stop playing Paddy ever.
I think like I could let Gimgar go because Jesus Christ. like, it's just if she dies, it's obvious. Like you're like, well, yeah, duh. Like,
It's like you brought this upon yourself.
yeah. But I think if Hashaan dies, I just,
Oh, we'd all be sad. We wouldn't let it happen.
I hope not.
You have like 3 diamonds on you. We can bring you back. It's
I mean, like in terms of how close people come to death before, extraordinarily.
Oh yeah.
Well, you have died, but you did come back.
Yes, Paddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Oh yeah. There was because I mean that's the thing that happens a lot in D&D, to be fair, 'cause you
extenuating
can come back.
circumstances, yeah.
I think we've all died. At
Then
least
Yeah.
once.
I'd say high hopes are not uncommon. That they know death pretty well at this point, right? Both themselves and of others.
Hence why we're suspicious of everyone that is around us.
Imagine death so much it feels more like a memory.
I mean, Phil
Except it
almost got
actually is a
eaten
memory.
by Phil almost got eaten. Malark almost got eaten by a wyvern once. That
I
was
wouldn't be
probably
surprised if
the
Phil
only
also
time
just managed to.
like death was through being an idiot.
Man, Hashaan went full mum in that moment. She like grabbed him.
It's like you like took your eyes off of your 4-year-old son at the petting
Oh my
zoo, and you
God.
turn around, he's got his head in a horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Detriment to society at
That's a mood.
K1NSO on Twitter says more on Brio.
More on Brio.
We would tell you, but we also know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
She is a mystery to all,
To
including
everyone,
herself.
We
including
don't even know
herself.
she's actually real.
She could have been a figment of our imagination. That would have been amazing.
She's a tiny chaotic god that came down to cause trouble.
Yeah. No, she's not actually. Don't take that seriously.
Please don't.
She's the most chaotic part of Matt's like
Psyche.
energy, right?
Yeah.
His exuberance.
She is Jessie J and
Yeah, she's inspired by a particular song playlist. That's like Nicki Minaj and Jessie J and
Lily
all
Allen.
sass all
Lily
the time.
Allen. Yeah.
She's
I
just
don't
long
really know what else
manicured
to-
nails.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about her. Like he has to
She's
play.
got the biggest dick energy of any.
Mm-hmm. She's a nightmare.
Yeah. And we love it.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, there isn't actually that much to tell you about her.
We don't know.
Other than like look forward to her
Mm-hmm.
and look forward to seeing what the hell her voice ends up sounding like. Because I think Matt was going to try and do that.
No, I feel like her voice is just Matt's voice.
Barrel of Axes at
Or a barrel
of
axes.
underscore
Cool.
axes has a bunch of questions, so we'll just quick fire them. How do you design a character? Pick something,
Yeah.
work around it.
This is a question like
It's very hard to answer succinctly.
yeah, and it's a question we get a lot,
Mm-hmm.
so much, and it's like no one can tell you how to do it.
No.
That's the thing. It's like especially with D&D where there's presets, it's
Mhm.
like pick the class you want to play, pick the stuff you want to try out,
Get
give
attached
them
to
a
it,
face.
do nothing else ever
Yeah.
again.
and you're done. Like there's
Think
no
about
right
it
or
a
wrong
lot.
way.
Yeah, think about it a lot. There you go. That's my advice.
Read what matches you.
Yeah.
If you absolutely have to come up with a character, think of something that you like
Mm-hmm.
and build them around that.
If you play video games and you enjoy a very specific type of character, base them around that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If it's just for a home game, just like build a character you like from something.
Yeah.
and
Do
then
what we
make
did
it your
and
own.
draw class and race and personality from a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's really
That was
fun.
really fun.
That was a good one shot.
And obviously all the books have got all these tables in them, so you can roll to get different backstory
Mhm.
stuff and all that kind of thing. Usually it's just, whatever.
Yeah.
Google it. And then ultimately what it comes down to is you thinking about those components and how they fit together and how you feel like that person would talk.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the time, like you'll make a character and they will turn out when you play them so different from how you intended them or how you imagined
all the
them.
time.
Radically
Like,
so.
I remember when I first thought of Paddy, I was like, he's going to be a cool like Robin Hood kind of thing, and then we got to actually playing, and it was just like, hello, how you doing? And he was just a loser, and it's great, you know.
Will there be any action scenes in the series?
Oh boy.
Oh yes.
Oh, when I say
man.
I'm excited for episode 2.
So
That was so
much
good.
has advanced with this episode. It's insane.
Any plans after High Hopes La Rolls?
Don't.
I mean,
I don't know about you guys, but I am looking forward to retiring you at level 20 and then picking back up again at level 1.
I don't think I can let them go.
Same world, just a little bit further on.
I'd like
I
to
would
stay in
love
the same
that.
world, please.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because I love
just-
Arcaden, but
Uh,
see, that's the thing. I want to get to the end of this, like, Our High Hopes campaign as Paddy, get him to level 20, live, and then, like, use my backup character. I don't want to have to use a backup character before then.
Yeah, same.
have you had any contact with other animated D&D YouTubers at Dingo Doodles, at Puffin Forest, etc.?
No, but
No.
I think we've all seen, like, their stuff.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
I don't know if anybody knows that we exist. So
Yeah.
that
What
you
was
know.
the thing that we had for Halloween? Was it Project Heart Attack or something?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was
yeah,
lovely.
That was
That was
so
a community
good.
thing, though.
That
That
was
wasn't,
incredible. Oh my goodness.
So a bunch of on Halloween, a bunch of our community got together and they surprised us. It was so cool. They just suddenly posted like an insane
So much
amount of
art.
art.
Just waves and waves of super cool things.
Oh, it was
One
incredible.
person made, and again, I'm bad with names. I can't remember off the top of my head who it was, but I love you. It was they made like a little animatic of their own, on like with a, like a little animation meme
It was really
to a
good.
Vocaloid song, which was great.
Loved it.
And yeah, so like we are not known, I think, by bigger
Ignis
people
Leo.
like Ignis Leo, legend.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're known by bigger, more well-known D&D animators like Dingo Doodles and stuff. But we're known by our little community who make awesome things, and we love them.
Yeah. The people that literally follow our thing are so wonderful. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't ask for it.
And that's it, guys. Thanks so much for listening to us ramble. We are once again very, very grateful to our patrons who God only knows what they think of us. And of course to Oliver Moore, who has been doing the sound.
I've been Hydrocil.
Oh,
Good to have you here.
oh.
You're not going to say your names too?
No.
We've been afraid.
Help us. We are being held hostage.